Hey, it's Amy Nicholas. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm doing a recap of my day trades from today, which is April the 8th, Tuesday. So it unfortunately was a red day for me. But I'm going to get into some things about dealing with losses and discouragement, okay? Because I kind of felt like some stuff creeping up on me today, and I'm like, I don't really even know why I'm feeling this way. So I'll just kind of like delve into a little bit of, my personal stuff here. But let's get into the trades real quick. So this morning, the market in the pre-market was way up. Everything was kind of rallying, and it was like this sort of suspicious, like, wait, are people freaked out about the tariffs no more? Like, what's going on? And then it basically, when the bell rang, it was like everything proceeded to sell off. And then it was kind of this thing of like a balancing act of like buying and selling and this and that. And the first thing I get into this morning, I want to say this was maybe 5 minutes after the bell, was trying to short Tesla. And the usual signs were there. My indicators, my stochastic oscillator pointing down, my, red bullish 5-minute candle, my price action, watching things moving. And I get in with a very tight stop loss because I'm working on my scalp strategy here. So my stop was, I believe I had a 30-cent stop, and I was trying to go for like 37 cents or something, take profit. And immediately put in the order, get kicked out. Like, I think maybe 1 to 2 seconds passed. And I'm like, wow, that hit my stop like way too fast. In at 48.51 with the ETF TSLQ to short Tesla, and kicked right back out at 48.13. Now, I did just start bumping up my share size. So I've been doing this experiment where I'm doing 20 trades at a certain amount, then I'm bumping it up to the next level. So I've done 20 with 1 share a piece, 20 with 2 shares a piece, and now I'm going into 5 shares a piece. So immediately hit my stop, and I must have got some weird slippage, because the most I should have like technically lost on this hard stop loss was $1.50, and somehow I lost $1.88. So I think with the market being kind of wonky in the first few minutes of the bell, I don't know, I must have just got, some slippage, 38-cent slippage, which seems a little bit absurd for such a small amount of shares, but whatever. Okay, so second trade, Palantir. Again, trading Palantir. Had, some trades the last few days, last week and yesterday with Palantir. I'm like, okay, it's looking like it's going up. I could see there was resistance at like 86.31 because I've got this chart up here with Robinhood, and they've got support resistance levels now. It's like S1, S2, S3, R1, R2, R3. So resistance wasn't until like 86 something, but psychologically I knew 85 is going to be, resistance point. So I tried to get in for a quick scalp, I was looking for like a 30-cent, 35-cent scalp. And I must have saw the numbers flashing, so quickly that I thought I got in cheaper than I did. I got in Palantir at 84.81, and I was like, not exactly what I was going for. I think what I was trying to actually get in and got the buy button, I was trying to get in like 84.67, 70, something like that, where I had a little bit of room to maybe scoot up to 85. Well, unfortunately, the trade immediately went against me. It seemed like as soon as I got in at the 84.81, it didn't even try to go to 85. It just started backtracking. And I did write down here on my trading journal notes that I was a little bit of a hurry to get in because I got kicked out so fast on the first trade. But between the two trades, I think I waited about 10 minutes, and as a scalp trader, I guess that's like, that must be a long time, right? But yeah, I did kind of wait for a better chance to get back in, but I also did feel like maybe it was a little bit of FOMO, like I'm just trying to get in there quick. But I waited for my 5-minute closing candle again. I'm checking the VWAP. Nowhere near the VWAP. The VWAP was so far below, like it wasn't even funny. The 9 EMA, it was closed above it. So I'm like, okay, this is one of those like high probability setups where you pull the trigger and you go for it and you just don't know. this one could work out. This one might not work out. It was one where it did not work out. So I got stopped out on that one for, with the 5 shares for a loss of $1.49. And I kind of put some notes here. The market was really choppy. It was ranging. Every stock I was checking had the same kind of action. It was like not clear on what direction this was actually going to go for the day. It was, some selling and some buying and some selling and some buying. And it was hard to kind of catch these moves, especially as a newbie trader. Like, I'm in month 5. It was a little bit challenging to try to get in for the quick scalp when you really didn't have obvious clear directions. Like, yesterday was way better with that. I did way better yesterday. Upside moves just not there. Clean setups not there. And I put that when I went back and looked at this trade as to where my stop actually was, because I'm just putting in, arbitrary 30-cent stop. It was at the 84.52, which was right at the closing wick of the prior bullish candle. So basically, learning as I go here, I'm like, okay, for the future, try to buy in at a better price point, obviously, but also maybe having a different stop there may have helped. But unfortunately, Palantir was just all over the place this morning. It really did not have a clean action. I actually, after the second trade, first of all, I should have walked away because I knew what the market was giving me was choppy, ranging conditions. And for what I like to trade, which is momentum, quick scalps, get in, get green, get out, it wasn't happening. It didn't really matter if you were going long or short, because obviously I tried that both ways. And I thought about even shorting Palantir. And I'm like, either way, I was going to get stopped out because the ranges were so tight. Like, it just wasn't my day for my setup. And this is my lesson learned for today. And a little bit of kind of looking back at what could have gone better. I should have walked away after 2 losing trades. And this is going to be part of my new rule strategy, that after 2 red, that's it, we're done. I don't care if I've only been trading for 5 minutes, which is almost the case here. I was in and out of this one at somewhere around 6:48 a.m. Pacific. So, the market hadn't even been open 20 minutes and I'm already out of my second trade. But I didn't do that. I went for a third one. Tried again with Palantir going long. And this time it did go over 85. And I'm like, the frustration of I was in it before and I missed that move and I could have stop was too tight, right? So 85.28, I'm kicked out at 84.96 and another loss of $1.60. I'm like, this is not the day, right? This just is not a good day for my type of trading, for my setups. And I think I was getting frustrated, of course, after the 2 red. And I even thought, I'm trying to figure out what could I have done better, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should have had a wider stop. Yes, but I also could have had bigger losses because I think what I was trying to do was to justify my reasoning for even trading today. After the first one, and getting kicked out so fast, not seeing any clean setups should have been my, hello, Amy, not your day. Don't bother. And that's something as a trader, I think it's really challenging to learn is knowing when to not trade. Because sometimes I feel this competitive nature come up where I'm like, I gotta trade every day and I gotta be in it to win it, right? And it's who are you trading against? You're trading against yourself. I mean, yeah, you're trading with other traders in the market, but really the stuff that's going on in your head is really what you're battling, right? So the lesson for me today wasn't about technicals. It wasn't about shoulda, woulda, couldas. It was more of knowing that it's okay to sit down and be like, I don't see anything but crap. There is no good setups. There is no obvious plays here for what I trade. And I'm not about trying to just grab random strategies in the middle of a trading session. No. This is my lane. I stay in my lane. wait for a better opportunity. And there was also a time where after the 2 red, I walked away for a few minutes and I thought maybe I should wait like half an hour, come back, maybe the market will be different. And did I do that? No, I only stayed away for 5 minutes and I came back, did that 3rd trade, lost again. And I was just like, okay, and it took me the 3 and I'm like, okay, second of all, now we know that statistically, my trades after 2 reds, the 3rd one is 99.9% guaranteed to be another red. I think I've literally had 1 trading day where I turned it around and did a couple greens or something. But I think it's something mental for me right now that's like, hey, it's okay to end that way, right? You don't have to keep trying to prove something to yourself, right? And psychologically, for whatever reason, these are small losses. Like I'm only trading 5 shares now. It's not a big deal. I kind of had the same sort of weird shift when I went from 1 to 2 shares where I had a couple of like back-to-back losing trades. I really don't feel like it has to do with the position size. I really just feel like I've got to work through some other things about realizing I don't have to trade. I can sit back. Waiting is a 3rd option, right? Or walking away. And, I was only at a loss of $4.97. Like psychologically, that's like, it's not damaging or anything. It's not like, oh my gosh, I lost money today. And, I was going from losing cents to a couple dollars. But granted, I shouldn't have even lost more than $3 today because I had the same stop on these trades. And if I'd stuck to my 2, then $1.50-ish would have been the max loss per trade. Yeah, I don't know what happened on that first one with the slippage. The second one, what was my loss? $1.49. See, that one didn't get slippage. And then the 3rd one did again with the $1.60. So it's like, yeah, I know myself well enough now with as many trades as I've done. It's not that many, but it's enough where I can be like, statistically, I should just say, okay, we're red today. That's okay. Like, walk away after 2. We don't need to prove something by taking a 3rd trade, right? Like, that's it. We're done. This is rule whatever on Amy's trading book of rules. And then also just trying to figure out, because after the trading day was done, it took my 3 and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's not a big deal, right? Like, never think of it as like big deals. But it bothered me for hours later. And I was literally just trying to pinpoint, and I'm actually posting this video later in the day on purpose because I wanted to kind of like just go through my thoughts and try to figure out away from the charts later in the day, like what is bothering me? Like I couldn't put my finger on it. So I was just feeling discouraged is what it was. I was literally just feeling like, dang, because I had 2 green days, the last couple trading days, Monday and Friday. And I guess sometimes I come to the market with the expectation, like, just gotta keep winning, like just keep on a roll. And to just let that notion go. Realistically, what we're dealing with here is ego. Ego. Because when you quote unquote fail or lose, your ego is bruised, right? Nothing's happened to you. Like, I didn't lose so much money, I'm on the street. I didn't lose a limb or something. Like nothing physically has happened. But mentally, there was something going on in my brain today that was like, like just in this sort of mopey state. And so actions I took were went for a walk, went to the gym, got on my motorcycle, went out into like BFE in the desert for 2 hours. And, I came back, talked to my mom on the phone just about other things. And I was like, okay, like just sometimes you just gotta do other things, right? And just step away. And just, maybe then the ideas and the thoughts will come. Because I think as a human being, we have this hardwired into us that's like, I got to fix the problems, right? There's always problems and I always got to fix them. And it's like, maybe there's no problem. like maybe that's not even an issue, today. Like you you learn something, which is what I always try to take from every trade, especially the ones where, I quote unquote lost. I'm almost to the point of maybe I need to call it something else. Just stick to the colors like red or green. Calling it a win or a loss kind of makes it feel more personalized, and maybe that's causing issues. I don't know. But yeah, I just really was trying to get to the root of the discouragement. I think that was really even what I was trying to figure out, was like, what am I feeling here? And then I kind of was like, oh, I feel discouraged. And I'm like, I don't even know why. Like, I'm making progress. I'm going along this journey. Like, yeah, it's kind of in the slog of it part right now in month 5, where I'm working on my strategy. I'm trying to be consistent. I'm setting up rules. I'm reading and studying and learning about the markets and learning about trading like a little madman over here. But at the same time, sometimes you just got to give yourself a break. Like, I think I'm just really hard on myself sometimes, and I leave no room for error or whatever you want to call it. Like give yourself grace. If you find yourself with these self-talk things going on, just give yourself grace to like realize everything is okay. Nothing bad has happened here. I'm learning. I'm paying the tuition to learn, a couple of bucks to play in the market. Some days you're going to be on the right side and some days you're not. It's like, I think I just have to get that through my head. If I told myself before a trade, like, yeah, probably going to lose. It's all good. And I just didn't even freaking care, I'd probably be trading better. Because at that point you have no resistance. You're not worried about it. I did my routines, like I talked about in the previous video, of like 2 tricks that I kind of used to help me become profitable the other days. And it was meditation. Did that this morning, did my guided meditation, which, by the way, I added the link to the video that I specifically used for that meditation because people were asking. It's in my day trading resources. There's a link down below in the description or in the comments section. You can access that. Just put your email in. And I'm putting everything in this day trading resources document to, everything I'm learning that's helping me on my journey, books, videos, courses, YouTubers, whoever like I'm learning from, I'll put that in there. So because that's part of my routine and it helped me, it really did. I put that video link in there. And then the other thing I did consistently as well today was I didn't listen to anybody else. No live trading sessions, no background noise of any kind, no music, no nothing. Like, I'm really trying to just clear my head before trading and while trading so that I'm just in the zone. I'm just in that moment. Maybe one day I'll feel more like confident and dialed in automatically, where it's like subconscious and I can listen to things in the background. Right now, I just feel like I need to just focus, right? It's like, when you first learned to drive a car, you had to think of all the little things to do. Okay, turn signal. Okay, turn the wheel this many times. Okay, gotta get gear shift. Oh, check the mirrors. You had to think consciously of all that stuff. And your driving instructor was like, no music, right? like you couldn't turn the radio on. In the school where I took the class, it was like, they made sure you had the radio off, no distractions. You had other people in the car, which I think is distraction enough. But, it's like, you got to stay focused, because at that time you're so learning your thing. You don't want anything else distracting you. So that's kind of where I'm at with the trading. And I just feel like it's helped to turn off all the noise per se, right? And a side note, something I read on Instagram today is a very well-known trader, and he mentioned taking like huge losses the last few days, like being invested in leveraged ETFs was a mistake. And because, if you're in a leveraged ETF, say the ETF is up and you're leveraged for it to go up, that's great. You might get 2, 3, 4x your returns. But if it's going down, you get 2, 3, 4x the downside. So, when I read that, I was like, what do I have to complain about, right? Like, certainly not losing $5 by any means. Yeah. So kind of just like help me to see things in perspective and realize like there's nothing to complain about here. There's no bad situations. I think we all get this way at some point with our trading careers, that you will feel discouraged. And I try to just shift that by, like I said, the things I did today to try to just take my mind off of it. And that helped. And then also to have just a better perspective, like reframing anything that appears to be negative. Like if I say, oh man, I went against my rules. I traded 3 times and I should only traded twice. And I'll say, but now I know, this was another learning lesson. Now I know that statistically, again, I've proved thus that third trade is usually another loss. So in the future, I can just buck up and say, okay, let's just take the 2 losses and walk away. It's only 20 minutes after the open, but that's okay. Like, go on with your day. Like, don't dial in so much that it's so important. And I think that's the other thing is when you get into these learning zones, these growth stages with trading, sometimes it can feel like you're just moving in slow motion, right? Like you're like, oh my gosh, like, can I get over this hump? Can I move to the next level? Dear God, please, like, get me from, Super Mario World level 1 to level 2. Like, let me just beat this stupid thing, this, dumb thing I'm trying to crunch at the end, whatever. But like, let me just show some signs of progress. And I know that I have, but sometimes it feels like it's so small, the progress, that it's not moving. And I've had to really dial back my impulsiveness and my eagerness to grow faster, to get better, by trading small and trading these, 20 trades at 1 share, 20 trades at 2 share. Now I'm doing 20 trades at 5. Like, it feels like I'm barely moving, right? And in the good sense, it's like, okay, get out the mistakes, get out the mental issues, get out all this stuff now while you're trading small, because it's a heck of a lot easier to deal with that versus trading full-size positions, taking big losses, and then trying to come back from that. So I have to keep reminding myself that. Maybe you're in that situation too, where it's really challenging to dial back because I'm like, no, I want to trade the full size, but I'm like, can I accept the full size loss? No. So this is why we scale back and we focus on what's important here. Okay. So anyways, guys, check out my day trading resources down below if you want the meditation video I added or access to any other things that have helped me on this journey so far. And I'll see you in the comments. Take care.